Hi friends, welcome back to Arlie at Home. I'm Arlie and we're back in my kitchen today. We're going to be working on canning some very fresh corn. Okay guys, so it's corn season in Florida, and at this time of year you start seeing announcements here and there in grocery stores and things like that for Fresh from Florida. If you guys have never seen it, a lot of the local providers will have stickers on their fruit, on their vegetables, meats, nuts, whatever product is from here and is grown locally, harvested locally, everything. They will have that label on it, and what you're ensuring is that it is from somebody local. It is not imported in any way, shape, or form. You do have to be a Florida grower in order to participate in that. And I mean, it's not just, you know, limited to agricultural growing. There's meat. They'll show you where to get alligator meat and hide, things that are locally sourced and produced here in the state. So I usually love to support my local farmers, my local growers, ranchers, everything. So I will always look for that sticker when I'm buying here in Florida. And I was in the car driving and I heard on the radio, just a reminder, Fresh from Florida, corn is in season, Florida sweet corn. So I went to the store and I purchased a ton of sweet corn. I got 35 ears. I wish I could have gotten more, but I might be able to make another run this week and do it again. But I know that I can process this amount right now without it going bad. So that's what I'm gonna do. Work a little bit at a time and I'll get it done. So I have enough corn to last me the whole year, that is canned perfectly in my cans using my own pressure canner. No chemicals like lye or anything like that, which are used to dissolve the skins on the outside of the corn kernels when you buy it in a can. All of those canned corn cans, oh my god, all of those canned corn cans, sorry, they're always washed in a lye solution, and what that does is dissolve the outer like skin husk of the kernel, so that what's left is that pretty corn kernel. And that's not something that I really want to be ingesting, is all of that lye. So even though they say they wash it, you can't be sure of it. So I'm gonna process my own. It's gonna take minimal effort on my part, really, to consider I'm gonna be having a year's worth of corn without any chemicals that I don't want. If I don't want to put salt in it, I don't have to. That's something that I can add afterwards, but we're gonna play it by ear right now. I'm gonna get started on cleaning up that corn. All right guys, so I've got a bowl here for my husks and silks to be discarded, and a bowl on the right side of my sink to hold the cobs. And it's literally just a matter of getting in there and tearing it up. Snap the bottom off, and there you have it. Now these are gonna get washed regardless afterwards, but I'm just taking them apart right now. I mean, honestly, look at how beautiful that is. Okay guys, we've shucked all that corn and I have it all washed here. So you want to make sure that you take off as much of the silks, the little hairs, as possible. But seriously, look at how beautiful that corn is. It's perfect. So I'm going to show you guys how to take that efficiently off of the cob. Over here, I have two bowls, a larger bowl and a smaller bowl. And I'm gonna show you my trick. Okay guys, so we're gonna take the larger bowl and the smaller bowl. Put the smaller bowl inside, the larger bowl upside down. So you have a little base there. Excuse me real quick. We're gonna take our corn cob and stand it up right there. Very sharp knife, and very carefully, we're gonna cut along the side of the cob, removing all the kernels. And that's it. And see, all your corn cobs, all your corn kernels fall into the bowl, so you're not making a mess all over your countertop. So we're gonna cut all of this corn off. Now, I'm expecting that this bowl is gonna get full, so I have a secondary bowl on the side waiting to catch the rest. But let's get at it, guys. Alright guys, so this is all the corn that I was able to remove off of the cobs, and I'm really happy with this. I don't think this is going to give me a year's worth. I might end up having to go to the store to pick up more, but we'll see when we cross that bridge. So my pressure canner can hold 5 pint jars at a time, and that's what I'm going to go prepping now. So I've got these jars that I've just warmed and washed in warm water. And we're gonna start filling them up. So you want to fill this carefully so we're not wasting any of this corn. But you want to fill it until it's about almost all the way up. So you see I'm leaving about an inch of headspace. So as you can see, there's about an inch of headspace for this corn. I could probably pack a little bit more in there, but I'm not going to. I want to be safe. So right here, let me put this back in. And then what we're going to do is ladle in some warm water. Over on the stove, right there, I've got a Dutch oven with some water heating up. Now, some say use boiling water, some say not to. I just use warm water because I also have water heating up inside of my pressure canner. Okay guys, so here's the secret. When it comes to canning, whether it be water bath canning, oh my god, I had a hard time there. All right, whether it be water bath canning, having a hard time with that, or pressure canning, you want the water that you're putting your jars into, the contents within the jars, everything to be roughly the same temperature. So cold with cold, hot with hot. But if you want this to just get a move on and not take forever, then hot with hot is the way that I always like to do things. It's just better. So even with the water bath, I'll have my water heating up on the side while I'm finishing whatever it is that I have to do on the other end to get into the jars, whether it be jams or jellies, tomato sauce, things of that nature. And I will be handling them with warm water, warm liquids, warm tomato sauce, warm jellies, warm jams, so that when I put it into the water bath, it starts working right away. I don't have to wait for it. It's safer, and it prevents cracking of the jars. You're working with glass, so glass is temperamental. Even though this is gonna hold your food safely, the key word there is safe. If I add cold jar with cold contents into a hot pressure cooker, more than likely my jars will explode. And I don't want to put fear into everybody's head and have it poof and explode the pressure cooker all over the place. Although that sometimes happens, that's not what I mean. That means your jar is gonna crack. under the pressure in that pressure cooker because the temperature is not the same. You didn't give this glass any time to warm up and to become tempered to the heat. So it'll put pressure and heat and all of these things that it's not used to, and it'll just blow. And you've put all this work into it. Why not be safe now and just make sure that you're taking care of everything you have? Not to mention, these jars are not cheap. I mean, buying the jars is not inexpensive. It is inexpensive when you think about how long you're going to be using them. I mean, I've been using some of these jars for the past 10 years and I've never had to repurchase or anything like that. I purchase when I'm adding more. So I'm adding more to the collection, I'm adding more jars, but not to replace. I don't break jars. So same temperatures, hot with hot, cold with cold. So we're adding hot water to this corn to then add the hot jar to the hot pressure cooker so that we end up with a safe product. We're not losing anything and we're not breaking any cans. Back to the canning. So it's just barely at a simmer. I'm not boiling the water. And I'm just gonna carefully ladle that in. Just until we fill to the same level. You want that 1 inch of headspace. Perfect. Now, if you were adding salt, this would be that point in time where you would add your salt. I'm not. I'm keeping this salt free because I like to season as I go and always tasting and making sure. So if I'm, let's say, making like a corn fritter and I'm going to add a can of this corn to the corn fritter, if it's already been salted, then I have to amend my corn fritter recipe. Whereas here I'm just adding corn, I can continue with my recipe as it is. So as you can see now, I'm running a plastic knife. Sorry, my microwave's going off. I'm running a plastic knife. I don't have a debubbling tool. I lost it ages ago. But a plastic knife will work. Never use metal. Metal can chip your glass containers. And then again, we have broken glass in our food. We don't want that. So run it along the edges, along the sides. You want to make sure that if there's any bubbles in there, you're releasing it. That just makes sure everybody's underwater and exactly where we need it to be. So now I'm just going to do the rest of the jars for this run, and I'll meet you at the pressure canner. Alright guys, so here we have my pressure canner. This is a Nesco pressure canner, and I use the electric ones over the regular pressure canners that you put on your stove just for safety reasons. I've seen pressure cookers and pressure canners explode live and in person. I don't want to deal with any of that. I love having the peace of mind of this electric one, so this is what I'm going to go with. I'm using my jar lifter. Again, safety reasons. This is hot, and so is the water that I'm placing it into. We're just going to arrange them evenly throughout. So there we go. We have all 5 jars. We're gonna pop the top and lock it in place. Now I have it on exhaust, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it on high, for 55 minutes. So this is going to start to heat up And once it hits E10, I'm going to switch it from exhaust up here to airtight. All right, so now that it's reached E10, we're going to come over here. And I'm just going to switch this to airtight. There you go. This will count down and it'll start the timer on its own. So guys, here's all of the corn that I canned last night. If you can tell, I did it in different sizes here. So I have the quart jars, I have pint jars, and I have cup jars. And that's always dependent on the amount of people that are going to be having dinner with us. If it's just us, then a little bit goes a long way. If we're having guests over and things of that nature. Because if we're having a big barbecue with all our friends, we can just break out one of these with a little bit of butter and salt and we're good to go. I did have 3 casualties though. I had 3 of these that just didn't, see, they didn't can well. You can hear it. They didn't seal. I have no idea why, but we'll use those up first before all the other ones. No big deal. Pop them in the fridge and we'll probably make some corn fritters or something with those. I'll show you guys how we get those done. This is definitely not enough corn for the year. I mean, at all. We are gonna have to can a lot more corn and I'm gonna be taking care of that this week. But I just wanted to show you guys how I do it. And the reason it took me so long to get all of this done is because with an electric pressure canner, you can't vent it. So the way that you would, you know, remove the vent off the top of the pressure canner and let it vent, you can't do that with the pressure canner. You have to let the pressure stabilize and come to normal slowly. And it usually takes about an hour for that to happen without venting because that can cause siphoning. Siphoning is what happens. See, that didn't seal at all. So what siphoning is as you're changing the pressure so rapidly inside of your pressure canner, it pulls the liquid in here out of it. And that prevents this from sealing properly, which may or may not have happened here. Honestly, I don't know what caused these seals to fail, but it happens. Nothing is perfect. So we just go with it. We'll use this first. This will go in the fridge and it will not go to waste. But that's why it takes me a little bit longer than it would if I were to use, say, the All-American canner. I do love my Nesco though, and I love the safety parameters that come with it, so I won't be changing that anytime soon. But that's how I do it, guys. I'm glad you were able to come in and share with me and be in the kitchen with me while I put this together yesterday and today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what I'm putting out there. If you have any suggestions, any comments, anything, I'm here. I'm all ears and I love to hear and read everything. So let me know, guys. Appreciate you every single day. Hugs and kisses to everybody. Have a wonderful one and get corn. It's in season and it's delicious.